can actually get this conversation.
Okay.
All right. Looks like we're live. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Reckless Podcast. I'm your host Arsenal. Joined today, with just Manny Prime.
Hello.
How you doing?
Fine.
It's good. Um, let's just hop right into it. So before we get started, there is something that I wanted to bring up, and it sucks that most of the guys aren't here yet. But today's we're gonna try something new. We mentioned it last podcast, a couple podcasts ago. That we're gonna try some segmenting things. So for the cold open, we're using it, shoot the shit, talk about some stuff. We do have a main topic that's gonna be later on, and then we have a small segment at the end. Um, but no, right before we got on, I was mentioning to you about how I wanted to talk to you particularly about DC. Um, did you watch the newest animated movie? I think it's is it Crisis? I want to say.
No.
Yeah, I believe it's already on HBO. Was it Max now? Whatever it's fucking called. So redoing like an animated version of Infinite Crisis.
Yeah.
Um, and you said you haven't seen it, right?
And it's like 3 parts, right?
Yeah, it's 3 parts. The first one came out, and I know part two comes out sometime this year. Let me see. Oh, it's not on here. Yo, I could have sworn it was on here. But Justice League. Yeah, so it's the movie that came out was Justice League Crisis on Infinite Earths, part one. Um, and they're kind of redoing the whole. I guess they're trying to write themselves into another like restart, like how they did for the last two, with
Yeah.
the Flashpoint Paradox, and then is it Justice League Dark Apocalypse War?
Yeah.
Um, and this is supposed to lead into like James Gunn's um new vision for DC.
Yeah.
What do you think about that? Because I know in the past it used to be like the animated shows had like their own
Like
um
movies.
yeah, they had like their own movies. It didn't really um yeah, let me see if this shows real quick.
I think it's fine. But
Cause like I believe if I'm not mistaken, that's what they did for it's the wrong one. Properties. It should be this one. There you go. Where it's yeah, it's that was loud as fuck. Um where like the movies used to be like separate from the shows, and like now it's all becoming all together, and then the voice actors that are going to be in the animated shows are also going to be the actors that play them in the movies. um I don't know, I have a strong opinion about that because not every actor makes a great voice actor.
no.
Huh?
Not at all.
Yeah, like there are some people who do great work, like look at Mark Hamill, one of the greatest voice actors, and he acts like hell too. Like he does great. Like, and then you go to like my thing about it is like I'm really afraid that they're gonna pick these big name like movie stars
Yeah.
and then just cannot portray their like cannot act more with their voice than with their body language. You get me?
Let me get like a good like voice director or something.
Yeah, I that's kind of what my bigger fears for that is that it's they're gonna if they're gonna spend that kind of have that they have the right people to like say, hey, you sound like this voice.
I mean, in
Pat,
a
hi
way.
Pat. We should for okay. He says we should have Tom Kenny in it. Who would Tom Kenny play in the DCU? If I'm not mistaken, that's the voice of SpongeBob,
Yeah.
right?
And the mayor and the Ice King.
Ice King, yeah. I see when I think like I was like when I started like I think of him as Ice King. I think it's SpongeBob. I feel like it would have to be kind of like a juvenile
He also
character.
voiced Plastic Man.
Oh, I could see him as Plastic Man.
I mean, you voiced him before.
But I could visual like it's almost like if he was to act in person of that, I think I could see him as Plastic Man or like the older version, not the son, the one that the criminal, the one that I feel like he could totally do that. Actually, that's not a bad pull, I guess, Pat. But I have a problem with it more so, not just that, but it's more like I feel like it's gonna be very similar to how right now we have the MCU fatigue, where you have
Yeah.
to watch, 10, 15 extra shows on top of just the movies to get the full story.
My whole problem with this new universe thing, I just feel like we're like 20 years of whole superhero movies.
And but the thing about it is like people get old, people things, life happens. You get me? So like nobody wants to play the same character for the next 20 years. You get me?
Yeah.
Some people do. Like I'll give you a prime example. How Kevin Conroy was always Batman and everything. Like he played Batman for decades. The same thing.
Yeah.
You get me? But that wasn't their only role. You get me?
No.
They had to play other. They had a more of a range. Tom Kenny doesn't want to play. Didn't just play SpongeBob the entire time. You get me?
Yeah.
So I feel like that's gonna be hard because that's kind of what happened with the MCU. We after Infinity War, a lot of the original guys from the MCU, Chris Evans, and what's his name, Robert Downey Jr. wanted out. You know what I mean? They had played, yeah, they had made tons of money. They're doing great, but they had played the characters for so long. They're just like, I want to just do something new, do something different. So
Yeah, they don't have any like stars or lead characters for them to care about.
yeah, and then that's where I fear for DC looking at the MCU as a model. We should do this, because I've always seen DC kind of do things just differently than Marvel.
Mhm.
They've always kind of tackled everything's a little just different. Uh,
Yeah.
and I feel like for for pound, I believe DC just has better written characters than Marvel does. In the sense of like on their comic book pages. Like there are some really good outstanding ones. Like you get a lot of the connections for the Fantastic Four. You do great with Spider Man. Those. But I feel like DC has a lot of its heavy hitters are also just good on their solos, and
Yeah.
some of these other ones are work better in a team and only in like a team dynamic. Like they almost have the reverse problems of each other, if that makes sense.
You been reading any comic books lately?
My last comic book, what did I read? I want to say I kept up with Nightwing. Shit, it's been a minute now. I think I didn't read anything from last year's run. About a year behind. So what did I miss? Hello.
Uh, I mean, just right now they just finished like an event,
Oop.
and now they're gonna do like a. I think like somewhere in like summer they're gonna do like another event. It's gonna be like a Superman centric event,
Interesting. Let's
which
see.
they haven't really done like a Superman event so long.
Well, yeah, I think was it the last one? I guess. I don't even say it's like
The
a
last,
Superman one, which it'd be like.
I mean, the last one would be like, I guess like the death of Superman.
I will say
Was
it's
it
either the
his
death
event?
of Superman. I would even debate the reign of the Superman, where like all these other different versions of Superman. Get me?
I
But
guess his
like,
event.
yeah, it's like is that's what I'm saying. Is like is that DC events? I should probably put DC comic events because I want to get the events for
Uh,
Okay, so let's see. So where are we now? We're on post Crisis of Infinite Earths, right? So Flashpoint. Yeah. So the one I think the one you're talking about is Superman House of Brainiac.
yeah. Right
Interesting.
now we're past like Rebirth. We're now in this new Dawn DC.
Interesting. Let's see this. This just was October of last year. So now is this event for the whole DCU, or is it just or DC the DC Comics, or is it interesting? I'm reading on it. I'm reading about what it is, and it's um Brainiac basically unleashing a bunch of the Lobo race.
Yeah.
Interesting. Huh. Yeah, it says fans will be able to return to Superman's cosmic enemy in our Action Comics 1064 in 2024. I don't know if that's already out yet.
I only been reading Green Lantern.
Interesting. Is it all the Green Lanterns, or it's not even out yet? So then the next event is gonna be in June. So leading up to that event.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, because the last event that it shows here, before that is Titans Beast World, and if I don't forget, that was when everything basically like became like creatures. If I'm not mistaken,
And it just ended.
like a jungle type thing. Let me see.
Yeah, it just ended.
Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
seeing a lot about that, and that one didn't really call to my attention. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
where like a bunch of the heroes like were turning into like anamorphic like human like they're becoming animals.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the last one I really kept up with was Gotham War. I think that was again. I think that was like at the beginning of the year, and it was only it was 8 issues. Yeah, it was through mid of August. Yeah. Fuck my face. So yeah, that's the last one that I kept up with, and that one was a short one. But on the other side, it's like I feel so bad for. Oh wait, I'll be honest. I'm getting a lot of word girl videos in my recommendations for some reason. Word girl. Why does that name ring a bell?
Like cartoon show.
Pat, if you're trolling me, I'm gonna whoop your ass. Cause I looked up word. It's because you looked up Tom Kenny. So it is a PBS superhero, and Tom Kenny has is the I believe plays the see the villain. Let me see real quick. Hold up, hold up. Now he's got me fucking looking up things. Yeah, he plays the villain. See what you've done? See what you've done to me? But yeah, and then DC's done a lot on their animated stuff. They've done a lot more crossovers. Um, since they acquired Rooster Teeth a while back, they've been doing a lot of stuff with Ruby. Do you know the not anime Ruby?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I believe they had two events with Ruby where they came out with. I know there was a comic book run with them, and then they did I think two is it two movies?
Yeah, it's two movies.
Yeah, Justice League, Ruby's superheroes and Huntsman, and one part one and part two. I haven't seen those, and I actually I'm into I'm into Ruby quite a bit. I haven't actually kept up with that show. It's been a while. Is it has it ended? Hold up.
I mean, who knows? I mean, Ross Rooster not doing so well.
Yeah, I've been that's yeah, it's not canceled yet. That's literally the first comment that shows up. Yeah, many of us are worried because the next volume has not been greenlit yet. This is the fuck yeah.
So that's all the comics you've been reading?
Yeah, I've only the main like well since the beginning of Rebirth, the only ones that I really kept up with were the Nightwing solo title, and I think that ended a while back. It was the Green Arrow one, and that I think ended before the Nightwing one. I kept up with the Gotham series because I was watching it on YouTube. Somebody was reading it week to week, and I haven't read anything from Marvel. I just haven't. Um,
Rebirth was such a great
what happened?
Rebirth. Rebirth was such a great year for DC.
It was. It really was. I kept up with. Cause I
Gosh,
think let me see the exact one I stopped at.
yeah, you have so
Nightwing.
many titles right now.
They
There's
they started with so many titles for Rebirth, and they kept going. Like they didn't immediately end. Like they actually did rather well.
uh,
Cause let's see. Oh, the deluxe. Ooh. Yeah, but that's been where I've been at. I kept up with that, and then for a while I wasn't reading anything, and then I got back into reading quite a bit. Yeah, the last thing I had read was where are we? It's Get Grayson. So I haven't I haven't done the Battles of Bloodhaven's Heart or the Leap. I think I'm like at 198 somewhere around there.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's when they introduced like the bat the like the Batmite version of Nightwing.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. But yeah, once I think once I shit, when did that stop? I want to say I think in like early April, mid when we started doing the breaks for the recorded podcast. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
That's when I stopped reading. Because I would the time that I wasn't I was reading that stuff on online. I would just buy the comics because I got that idea from you.
Uh,
Yeah, because I was like, oh, what? I was like, because I was originally I was buying all of the copies in physical, and I think I had up to I think issue like 42, 43 of Nightwing. I think I had issues I think up to and like I had from one all the way through, and I was going like Frankenstein's like once a month to pick them all up. Which when in retrospect I could have just gone to a closer comic book store. Yeah. Have you been? Have you been to Frankenstein's?
no, I've been reading comics online.
Ah, cool. Yeah, no. I don't know the last time you went, but they have the new building in Walnut.
Yeah.
It's pretty nice. It's a lot more. It's a lot roomier. It feels like there's a lot more things there. And
Also, also
yeah,
been reading the new Transformers series.
Transformers series.
Yeah.
Isn't that the one where they're tying in? What is that other? I saw another
G.I.
sci-fi.
Joe.
It's GI Joe, but there's another one that I saw that's like another comic like
Void
comic.
Rivals.
I'm sorry.
Void Rivals.
Yeah, I was reading up about. Well, I wasn't reading. I saw it on. I saw it on Instagram, like the reels
Yeah.
about how that like they were starting that new comic and it was gonna tie into the
It is.
Transformers and GI Joe kind of thing, and I didn't know anything about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't picked any of those up. Is it
Yeah,
good?
they call it. Yeah, it's good.
Is it good? Awesome. I've never, you know what? When I think about it, it's like I've never picked up a Transformers comic book.
I haven't.
Well, did you buy it
Oh, I
online?
think I. No, I think I read like one comic book. It was during like I think it was like high school in a library.
No, I've only ever watched the like the animated shows.
Yeah.
and that's like where the majority of my Transformer knowledge is from.
Yeah.
Is like the original like Gen 1, the animated series. I remember watching the animated like the one on the hub, not the porn hub for the record. The channel, the hub.
Yeah.
And what else? The one that was on Cartoon Network for a while as well. Yeah, that's like where most of my knowledge came from.
Yeah. Yeah. So this is a new universe called like the Energon universe,
Yeah, okay,
and
yeah,
so
yeah,
far
yeah.
there are like 4 series, two ongoings, which is Transformers and Void Rival. Then there's Cobra, and then there's Duke, which are like GI Joe titles.
Okay, Duke is the main like the main GI Joe if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah.
Like this is where the story
Yes.
follows. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I was like Duke. It's like that. It's like there's no way that's Duke Nukem because that would be fucking funny too. But
And then Void Rivals is being written uh by Robert Kirkman.
okay.
He's the writer from of Walking Dead and Invincible.
Enter. Sorry, I'm trying to enter John universe. God, I could. I wish I could spell, bro. One of these days, I want to like learn to spell, and it's gonna be fabulous. But today is not that day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Void Rivals, Transformers, GI Joe, and the Transformers, and Oblivion song. Interesting. That's so cool. That's awesome, man. Well,
And the one who's writing Duke and Cobra is written by Joshua Williams.
okay. I'm looking.
He's
I'm reading up right now the wiki.
yeah he's been writing a lot of DC stuff.
Okay.
Like the one he came to fame was like he was the one who wrote the Flash Rebirth.
Oh, really?
Yes, and
You
he was
know,
like, oh,
I wish I would pay attention of who writes the comics. Uh,
yeah, and he's like the only writer who was able to write like 100 issues. Like a lot of the Rebirth titles, like all the writers got replaced.
yeah, they got switched like pretty
Yeah,
often, if I'm not mistaken. I
but
believe,
he was the
I think
only
Nightwing
one
has
that was
four.
paid.
Yeah, I think Nightwing has gone through like
And
four writers.
so far, he's been like like I say, like the architect of the DC universe, like how Jeff Johns was.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So what you're telling me is, what's his name? Fucking DC.
Joshua Williams.
I'm sorry.
No, wait, I guess.
The DC fucking showrunner. What's his name? James Gunn. What you're telling me
Yeah,
is we James Gunn needs to hire that man to make this all a success. That's what you're telling me.
yeah,
Yeah, we need
yeah.
one of those.
He's been right now. He's been writing like so many titles.
So I
He's
was gonna ask you, right, because going back onto the Energon thing, I was like, what other franchises does Hasbro have that they can tie into that? Because if I'm not mistaken, Void Rivals is a new one, right? Like they made that up for.
yeah, it was just made it up. It was like this like property. It was like the first issue was like this sci-fi story, and all of a sudden they realized that it is actually connected to Transformers, and that was the big reveal. And that was
Interesting.
the start of the Energon universe.
Because I was like that'd be really cool if they can kind of intertwine all of their like properties, because that's the thing about it is like where you see a lot of these properties that people that just own a bunch of shit. Like I know that the Transformers have done stuff with the GI Joes, but I just
Yeah,
thought that was cool because it was just my toys that were playing together. You get me?
yeah,
I was like, okay, that makes perfect sense. It's like I get that, but it's like I've never looked at what Hasbro has under its umbrella to be like, oh, what the? Wait a second. Wait a second. I read one line and I'm now confused. The line is when Unicron attacked Cybertron, Windblade sought out. Oh God, what the fuck is this? This is for Visionaries from Hasbro. Hasbro. I don't know any of these other properties.
All I know that Hasbro has is like My Little Pony, Transformers, and G.I. Joe. That's
Yeah,
all I
see,
know.
I know about the My Little Pony, and I would say that'd be fucking wild if they would tie all three of those together. But I've seen some crazy shit, man. I play Magic the Gathering. I get mollywopped by a pony at least once a week.
And they both used to be in IDW now.
Oh yeah, IDW. That's what I was
Yeah.
looking into because I was like, oh, what does Hasbro have? And it led me to its IDW. And like, the fuck is
Now,
this? And it has a bunch of like just stuff. Like, huh?
IDW is not doing so hot lately.
Really?
Like,
Aren't they the ones
yeah,
making the last Ronin?
that was like the last big success they have. Like, they lost like 60 like editors and workers there. 60% of it.
Jesus Christ, that's not ever good to see.
And their stocks have been dropped. And all their like properties, they lost G.I. Joe, they lost Transformers, and they lost like I think they lost My Little Pony.
See right
Oh,
now when I go to the website, the only brands that I see for them is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Star Trek, Lock and Key, Sonic the Hedgehog, Godzilla, Dark Space, and Balloon Country.
yeah, and Ninja Turtles is like the only vein that's selling.
What is it?
And yeah, Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, well, yeah,
And the
Ninja Turtles
last
are gonna.
and the last World Ronin was the one that actually saved them,
Well,
which allowed
didn't the
to
last Ronin become like a series?
yeah, it's like a sequel and a spin-off.
Yeah, because I remember. So I remember reading the last Ronin because I would see it a lot at work.
Yeah.
People were buying it, so every time I would get to see it, I'd like read a little bit and then put it away, and then I'd see it, read a little bit more, and it
And
took
now
me.
they're
Yeah.
yeah, now they're relaunching their TMT series.
Okay. I didn't even know Star Trek had comic books.
Oh, they did.
That's interesting. I didn't know that Sonic the Hedgehog had that.
Yeah,
I
I
knew
also been
Godzilla
reading
had
that.
some. I didn't know that. This Sonic the Hedgehog looks old. It says that it's from 2023, but this looks like what is it? What is the title? It's one of Kenny's favorite games. It's where like you ride like a skateboard.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's called. I don't know if it's Sonic Racers? Hold up. Before I make a fool of myself. No, it's not this one. It's not that one. So it's not, is it? No, that's not it. It's the one where they're like right like it's weird, but like they are like riding a. I remember like them riding a rail, and like that's like part of the game. Hold on, I'm just gonna look up Sonic games. This is gonna be easier for me. Is it Sonic Superstars? No, not the Olympics. Sonic Racing. Man, if Kenny finds out, Kenny's gonna kick my ass. Shit, I don't know. I don't know the game. I know it's a 3D game. It was for the PS2, I believe, PS3.
Yeah.
Racing games. Is it Sonic Rivals or is it Sonic Riders? I think it's Sonic Riders. No, I think it's Sonic Riders. Hold up. Ah. It is in fact Sonic Riders. So I don't know if you know what that is, but it's a game from 2006 for the Xbox and the PlayStation 2. And I saw the model of the on the cover of IDW's Sonic the Hedgehog at number 67, like their newest one, and it's a model right ripped from that game. I was like, oh, that's I don't know, if that's a good thing. I did know that Godzilla has had one, had comic books. I haven't heard anything about them.
I read one series which is called like Godzilla in Hell.
Godzilla. No, no idea. Is this on this?
Hmm?
I'm looking at all the Godzilla comics. There's a lot of them with the Power Rangers that I was not aware of. Godzilla in Hell. Sounds badass. Yeah, it would does. Godzilla in Hell. Yo, that look wild.
There's a 5-issue miniseries.
That shit look wild. I'm afraid to ask. What happens in the comic book?
Hmm?
What happens in that comic book?
It's Godzilla in Hell. What do you think?
Okay, that's what I thought. I wanted to be completely
Just
honest with
makes
you.
herself.
I was like, does he go to
If you
hell and
think
does he
it's
just like fight just
if you think
Satan?
it's rad, no, no, he goes through hell and tries to go.
Is it like a Dante's Inferno kind of thing, but for Godzilla?
Yes,
Oh my god, that sounds so badass.
like it is. If you think the title looks cool, it is cool.
Dude, so the first one didn't sell me on the it's going to hell. The last issue of the like the red Godzilla like falling apart looks so dope. I'm showing it on this on the stream. There's a Google book review online for it. Really? What does it say? Interesting.
And he goes to hell and he battles all the monster he fought.
That is not okay. See there that already changed what I thought it was. I was like he goes to hell. Tell me this motherfucker is gonna go to hell and like murder archdevils. Like that'd be dope. I'm not gonna lie with you. Seeing Godzilla go toe to toe with like Satan would be pretty fucking amazing. Ooh, do I get a preview? Hey yo. Fucking oh, okay. Oh, he literally fell into hell.
Yeah,
That's a
in the first
poster if
issue.
I've ever seen one.
Yeah, the first issue is like there's no text. It's just all pictures.
Yeah, that's what it says. All pictures, and then the first thing that I read is like, "Abandon all hope, ye who enter here." Now, did he read that, or did he just want to blow that up? I have questions. Oh, oh,
They're all drawn by different artists each issue.
this is wild. I got to admit, visually, this is wild. This would be a movie I would love to see. This would require so much setup, but this would be badass. Is that fucking what's it called? Emrakul for Magic the Gathering? What the fuck?
What?
Okay, so I'm on I don't know what page this is. Like this like squid looking bug creature that like is like half Godzilla, half demon, crazy crap. It looks exactly like what's it? Emrakul MTG. There you go. Tell me this doesn't give you the same vibe. Oh, you can't see that. Hold up. I just realized you can't see that. Here. I'm gonna post it in our podcast chat. Right? And is it this? I believe it's this screen. This right here. Here. And Tell me those don't give you the same vibe.
Yeah.
Into Destroya. Destroy. See, yeah, that's the problem. I don't know enough about Godzilla, like its lore. Oh, oh, yeah, that definitely looks more like what it's becoming. Oh God. So again, I don't know anything about Godzilla lore and stuff, but I've
Yeah.
Destroyer one looks dope, 100%. That looks like it belongs in hell. But this looks like a monster from. I don't know if you've ever seen the shows. Is it Superhuman Samurai?
No.
No. Okay, hold up. This is a show. This is a show I have it saved on YouTube. Hold up. Where are you? Uh, no. I know you're here. It's the audiobooks. That's the Fallout series. I need to see more. Okay. Yeah, see, I don't I need to see all of them. Give me all of them. I would say recently added, but it's not recently added. That's not recently added at all. Fuck. That's gonna bother me. That's gonna fucking bother me. Let's see. Right here, yeah. It's Superhuman Samurai Squad. Let me show you this image. God, that is definitely God damn it. I think it would surprise me more if you have never seen this, actually. Does this logo remind you of anything? I'm gonna post it back in that chat.
Like I've
Hi,
heard of it.
Plastic. Why don't you join? Have you seen that
Yeah.
show?
No, I heard of it. It's like one of those like like Power Rangers ripoffs.
It's. I feel like it's more of an Ultraman ripoff, but it's pretty fucking. I've watched the shit out of this when I was much younger, and they have a
Yeah.
creature that looks very similar to Destroya. There you go, right here. What is this thing called? Shit. Yeah, is it Blizzard? God damn it. There you go. Blizzard. I'm gonna send you a picture of that. Open. God damn it. Stop sending me links. I just need pictures. It makes life easy when I just send pictures to people. There you go. Yeah, that. And then I assume you know what Destroyer looks like, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Gives me the same vibe. But that's pretty. Damn it! Now you're gonna you're gonna make me read comics now. Now I have to get. God damn it! So much money's gonna be gone. I have too many expensive hobbies. Manny Prime. See what you're doing to me? Wait, does it go back? Oh no.
Why not just pirate them?
Because I'm trying to be a good boy. I heard you fucking chuckle. I heard that. Oh, either you've reached the page that is unviewable, or you've reached your limit of this book. God damn it. Yeah, but that's pretty cool. I do gotta admit that was interesting, and that does suck that they're not doing good. That really does suck.
Yeah.
Cause like, there's some cool stuff there. I get it's not for everyone, but that is pretty cool.
I mean, this whole industry is not doing so well.
Is it? See, I have some questions about that. In your honest opinion, what do you think it is?
Just a lack of interest.
Is it? Are we? Is because one thing about it is like like you and I and a bunch of our friends, we've always been into like the nerd culture. You know,
Yeah,
we've liked comic books. We've liked superhero movies. We've liked the anime. We've liked all that kind of stuff.
yeah,
That before when we like let's go back. Let's go back 10 years when we were in high school. Um, we were laughed at. You know, we were made fun of for a while because we liked all that stuff. You get me?
yeah,
And then it became like the cool thing to be into the Marvel movies. It was the cool thing to be into anime. It was the cool. You get me? Like for us, it was always cool. You get me?
mhm,
But then like mainstream, it made it like that's what was in now. And I feel like now everyone's burned out on it, and I think that's why like they had like a really strong boom, and most of those booms are not sustainable. Like at that level. And now that like it's crashing, there's no like safety net for like this industry. Similar to how like during the pandemic, like movie theaters were kind of like going extinct because there was no safety net. You get me? You've always had an industry that always did it, and then when it closed down, it's not sustainable. You get me? Like I feel like that's the
yeah,
same thing. Like I feel like there's always gonna be some version of the comic book industry, even for like just the maybe the stronger three. You get me? When I think of comics, I think of Marvel, I think of DC, and then I always think of like literally everyone else as like the indies for like to compare it to like wrestling. Where like you have the two main hitters that are like not even so much too big to fail, but they have their IPs spread out into um like you again how we talked about it. You can pick up a Batman comic. You could pick up you can watch a Batman TV show. You can watch a Batman movie. You can go buy a ton of Batman toys. I feel like that is gonna like that comic book, particularly DC comics and Marvel comics for that sense, kind of have that safety net where they still need to keep writing comics because that's where their stories comes from. That's where their storytelling is for the movies, for the shows, for all this stuff. You get
yeah,
me? Where I feel like a lot of these series like which does suck because it's like I love the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I love you Transformers. I like all that stuff. But like many of these don't have that. At least a lot of them don't have like that. Like a lot, I know like there was a comic run for a while for The Walking Dead, and I feel like that phase has passed. Like we've all moved away from zombies, like as a genre. You get me? And like now that's like whatever remains, like just the heavy hitters. So that's what I fear for a lot of these smaller companies that make interesting stuff. Like I've never heard of that Godzilla the Going to Hell thing, that miniseries. Dope as shit. So yeah. So because the other guys aren't here and it's just you and me, I do feel weird segmenting into this topic.
yeah.
So I don't know if you were reading the chat, our personal chats that we have for this, for our Reckless Discord. But Wise had asked a really good question that I thought would be perfect to have like a full segment for, and it was talking about how Star Wars fans are becoming Warhammer fans, and I had a really strong debate with him, and I wanted to address it in a way like where it's like, how do I put this? You can be a fan, like even if you like sci-fi films, you get me, and sci-fi properties, that doesn't mean you like another sci-fi property. You get me? My biggest comparison is like Star Wars and Star Trek. You get me? They're both in that same sci-fi esque genre, but they're night and day. You get me? and you can like one without not necessarily liking the other. It's yeah, Pat. He mentioned he was gonna be on. That was an hour and a half ago. That's why we pushed it back. I don't know where he's at. Brofton was on too for a while, and I don't know where that happened. Um, but yeah, um, so what did you think about that personally?
I don't know. Not really that familiar with Warhammer. I
Well,
don't
no,
know if there's a
let's take Warhammer out of the equation for
yeah,
now. So what I'm asking Pat is basically for any genre, you
yeah,
can like a genre without liking everything in that genre. You get me? That's my question.
yeah.
The like I'm a big fan of Star Wars and all of that kind of jazz, but I'm not a huge fan of Star Trek. You get me? They're both
Yeah.
sci-fi. They're both that. And he was proposing basically that a lot of people are liking you like this property because you like this other property. You get me?
I mean, those properties are so different.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I was mentioning it to him.
Like, it's not gonna branch out.
And it's not like a one for one. Like I and the reason we brought it up with Warhammer is because a lot of Warhammer as a IP takes a lot. Inspiration is not the right word. I think almost plagiarism at this point.
Yeah.
From a lot of the bigger companies, a lot of the other like genre type things. Like they steal a lot of stuff from like the biggest thing of like the Imperium and all that stuff. That's a lot of like the sci-fi tropes, a lot of the like the Tyranid design and all the same thing is similar to the um xenomorph and the all the elvish cultures and all that stuff are derivative of just another like fantasy trope. So my thing about it is like you can like those genres of things, right? You can like sci-fi, but you don't have to love everything in that genre. And he was completely adamant that it was not that case. At least that's how I took it. I wish he was on so we could have this, but because I know you like Star Trek quite a bit,
Yeah.
and I don't know your opinion on Star Wars.
I think I'm out of Star Wars.
Yeah, see, and that's where I was saying is like, there's but one does not automatically dictate the other, right? You don't have to like Star Trek for you not to like Star Wars. You get
I also
me?
don't like the modern Star Trek.
See, and that's where I'm getting to that like you don't one doesn't necessarily mean the other. There's a lot of crossover. Let you get me wrong. I am a Star Wars fan, and I like Warhammer, but I don't like Warhammer because I liked Star Wars. You get me?
Yeah.
Pat says, any fan base with a large amount of people will always have naysayers and toxic fans. Personally, I love Star Wars and Star Trek 2 Arsenal, leaning towards more than Star Trek though, and that's fine. I don't. I've never got into Star Trek. The only things I've ever seen is when I'm with you guys or when I was with you guys at Ranger Senior's house and stuff. Like that's the most I've seen. Like I haven't even seen like the Chris Pine movies and stuff. It just never called to me. On a related note, did you see that Kathleen Kennedy is no longer running Star Wars?
No,
Well, yeah, she
never heard
knows.
of that.
Yeah, she's gone. Hey, let me look up the exact report. Kathleen Kennedy. Yeah, Kathleen Kennedy departed was actually decided upon an early release on November. Yeah, so where is this? Where are we? Yeah, so it was announced that there was a rumor going around last November. Gone from hold up, son of a bitch. Where did I see this? Yeah, that they had mentioned that she was done. They were removing her from her role in Star Wars. I gotta find it. I promise I'm not making this shit up. 2024, maybe. Yeah, so because her contract ran out at the end of 2023, and yeah, so she did not get renewed for her contract. So the hope is that they put Dave Filoni in her spot, and we can. I, I have very strong opinions of the most recent Star Wars stuff. Even the stuff that I liked, I have strong opinions about. Like not even good ones, but I feel like people who really like respect the IP, like Dave Filoni, John Favreau, and that kind of thing, they should be running the creative side and not corporate, you know, people.
Mm.
Anytime corporate gets involved, that's when we have a lot of those like, why did you do this in a story kind of beats. And I'm kind of against that. Similar to like how, again, we're gonna circle back to this the whole DC thing with James Gunn.
Yeah.
Like when he announced that he was rebooting all of DC, why couldn't he wait till after Aquaman came out?
Or the Flash, or Blue Beetle.
Oh yeah, why did he announce it the moment he got hired? Because that automatically tanked whatever sales those things were gonna get already, as you know, and then it didn't do them any favors because they were already movies that many people weren't gonna go see. But even the diehard fans that were like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna still watch it because it's still part of this, the series of stuff that I'm watching and into." Saying, "Oh, you don't need to watch this anymore because none of this is gonna matter in 8 months." You get me?
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen those two movies. I know I'm gonna watch Aquaman pretty. I don't know if this week. Um, for that same reason, I did want to watch it. I just haven't had time. But I watched Blue Beetle, and Blue Beetle was very good. You get me?
Yeah.
I there was a comparison from for Blue Beetle and how Shazam worked and how Shazam was, and how just Blue Beetle just no not Shazam. What was the Marvel one that they came up with? What's it called? Miss Marvel.
Yeah.
And like that, how that series was, and how Blue Beetle was done, and the concept was just like for did you watch the Marvels the movie?
No.
I didn't either, but um from all of the things that I've seen from it, and all of the things that I've, because I did see Blue Beetle because I was really interested. It looks like it's like on paper the concept of the characters were the same. You wanted an ethnic background character with a family that's an overbearing, like a typical ethnic family. The overbearing mother, the very protective father, the annoying siblings, that kind of jazz.
Mm-hmm.
But in the sense where the Blue Beetles that enhance the story, and at some points in that movie, the family was a bigger character than Jaime, which is one of the negatives that I had for it. But it just played on his character a lot more than it did like in the Marvels movie, where like the family was still there, they were important, but it was like almost like if they were an afterthought. They were just tacked on at the end rather than they were an integral part of the story with that character. Pat says, I'm trying to see a Godzilla in Hell movie. Absolutely. That'd be fucking badass. How would you market a Godzilla in Hell? Jesus. Did you see Godzilla Zero?
No, but I wanted to.
Everything I've seen for it, it looks good. Like I normally don't really watch the like MonsterVerse kinds of movies.
It's
Um,
not Monsterverse.
Is it almost
It's a
reverse?
Toho.
What is it called? Oh, so yeah,
So
yeah. And it was a Toho one. I was like, okay, cool. That's different.
yeah,
If it's not connected, that's much easier for me to watch. And then I was like seeing all these reviews for it. And I'm like, all right, let me watch all these reviews and see what this thing's even about. Um, Everything I've seen of it looks so dope. Like, yeah, yeah, it's minus. Is it minus zero? Is it minus one or something like that?
-1.
Minus one. Okay. It's like a what's it called? Like a prequel.
It's more like a remake.
Okay. And where can is it in theaters? Right. Let's see this. Look
I
at
think
this.
it was, but
Where am I gonna be able to watch this bitch? Where to watch? Oh, so Toho hasn't even announced if it's going to be streamed yet. Interesting. Hmm. Where do you watch? Where would I watch all of those movies? Do you know?
he used to watch and Kiss Asian, but I don't think that's running anymore.
Oh, the yeah, yeah.
Like one of those, those sites.
Yeah, I was about to say yeah. It's like I know. I heard the name and I'm like, oh, that brings me that. Those are the days, man. You know what? You know what do you know why I actually pay for streaming services?
Yeah.
And okay, well,
Yeah.
like the reason I really do is the hassle of just making sure like all of like the having the ad blocker, making sure that actually plays and stuff, and actually like having to like odd change the next episode and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I just paid to not have to do that on my own. That's basically what I pay for the streaming services for. Is basically just automating it. It's one of those like serious things about it. It's like I just don't want to get up. Like if I'm on the couch watching, what was I watching? I was watching Demon Slayer
Yeah.
for because Karina wanted me to get into it, and we were watching it on one of those sites, and I was like livid because every 20 minutes I had to get up and then change it to the next episode. I ended up just getting a Crunchyroll subscription. I just fucking play and letting it roll. It's one of those like first world problems when you really think about it. Oh, Pat saw it in theaters. Dope. That's cool. Yeah, no, man. When was the last time you went to see a movie? I don't even remember the last time I went to go see a movie in theaters.
Mine was on since New Year's.
Which watch?
Wonka.
Okay. I don't know what that is. Can you tell me?
It's the origin story of Willy Wonka.
You said Wonka?
Yeah, Wonka.
Okay, that's not what I heard.
Willy
Good.
Wonka.
Okay, yeah. I didn't hear Wonka. I heard Wonga, and I was like, okay, that sounds interesting. What is that? A Wonka. Okay. Was it good? I haven't heard anything about it. All I know that it's Charlemagne.
Did
Yeah,
fine.
Timothy Charlemagne. It was Willy Wonka. That's
Yeah,
it.
did fine.
Did he? Okay, good. I haven't seen it, and I don't want anybody to spoil it. I do want to go. I want to see it. I don't know if it's still on theaters. Oh, it is. Ooh, I can go today. Maybe. Okay. Um yeah, the last movie I went to go see was Pat saying it was Guardians of the Galaxy 3. I haven't seen that movie yet. And I heard that was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Um the last movie that's coming to my mind is Venom 2. No, no, no. I know it was the D&D movie, Honor Among Thieves. Whenever that movie came out. Yeah, that was last year. When was this? In March. Yeah, so last year in March was the last time I went. And I think the only reason we did go because it was we probably did it for our anniversary, Karina and I, because it was in March. Huh? God, that's a long time to think about it. Don't Pat, don't say that. We don't want to hear that. Pat says Timothy Charlemagne is every girl's swoon. No, everyone's swoon was Astarion from Baldur's Gate 3. I don't know. I don't know if you've seen any of that, Manny.
Yeah. I see it.
It's a it's a problem in this household at the moment. I have both Angie and Karina over there. They're currently playing Baldur's Gate right now,
Oh.
and I think in this run they're both trying to woo Astarion.
You play it?
I have played it. I've played quite a bit. I think I have 200 hours in it now at this point.
Yeah.
I haven't beat it yet. I'm on Act 3, so I'm almost done with it. But for my first playthrough, yeah, it's a good game. I think I think it deserved every award it got. I do have a question though. Why on this God's green earth did they use the bear scene to sell this game at the Game Awards? The fuck, man.
It wasn't in Game Awards.
Was it not? Where was that then?
It was like a live stream. On one of
No,
the-
no, no, no. There was one where they were like showing off like the part of the game.
Yeah, but it wasn't the Game Awards.
Okay. All
It
right.
was something else.
Okay, good. Cuz I'm like, dude, that's not how we want to be. That game is when I think about all the stuff that's in that game. No, Pat. The exact answer is no. Everything that's in that game,
Yeah.
like that shit wild. Like the game is like when I think about it, it's like yeah, I've murdered so many tiefling kids.
Like I heard it's like it's like an actual D&D game.
Yeah, you could pretty much do just about anything.
Like all the stupid shit we did during our
Correct,
campaign.
correct. You could do it, and
He's
like
like do this? Yes, you can.
yeah,
He's like,
I I have slept with everything I've can, Manny Prime.
hmm.
I have everything that I could sleep with. I have. I have my favorite thing to do is the barbarian Karlak is to have her throw creatures at other creatures. Like I do it on purpose where it's like I don't kill them. I do just enough where I'm like, okay, they have about 10 health left. And like all of my characters will like move out of the way so that she could rush in and just fucking yeet. One of the earlier bosses in the game, for minor spoilers.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you want me to spoil this part? It's not a spoiler because it's in a lot of the trailers and stuff.
That's fine.
But there's a fight that you don't have to fight. For the record, I chose to fight this bitch. It's the hag, Ethel,
Yeah.
and I rolled really good on my initiative. So all of my party members got to shoot her, and we got to about half damage. And then Karlak was able to get to her, and like had the ability to throw her. I threw her over the ledge, and just ended the whole fight. Just yeet down a chasm over. Fucking Emperor Palpatine her just down a hole, and like now all of the main villains is that's what I do with. I don't fight them. I get them to a position where I can throw them off a ledge and just yeet the bitches. I've killed three main villains that way. I'm a menace. Pat, don't save that quote. Don't save that quote. That's gonna get me in trouble. Yeah. Yeah, I think so put in perspective, Pat, they woke up today about 9 a.m. They started playing at 10. It is almost midnight. I think they've taken two 1 hour breaks. And I feel like they won't get off till about 2 a.m.
What else is there to talk about?
No, it's not bad. If you haven't played it, play it. Um,
It's also that Suicide Squad game controversy.
what part of it? Because I've heard a couple of things. I haven't played it. I've seen the story of it, and I have critiques on that. But what controversy are you talking about?
Like basically like everything.
Oh yeah, no, everything's wrong with that
Like
game. But
everything.
where do you want to start with that one?
I,
Where do you want to start?
uh,
Because
oh yeah, there's so much. Uh, the fact that this game is just another live service. It's connected to the Arkham universe. It's Kevin Conroy's last role.
it isn't
It technically isn't, but they advertise it.
correct. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So okay, let's start with that first one. Um, that it's a live service.
Yeah,
My problem with it is that from the get go they showed us it was going to be a live service game,
yeah.
and that the concept of that just being connected to the Arkham series was already a no go. That should have just never flown. You get me?
Yeah.
So I don't think it's more the necessity that it was the bad thing because they told us up front what it was going to be. I just think conceptually it should have never been done.
Like we just had Avengers and Gotham Knight.
Correct, and both they one of them was their game. It did not do financially well. I don't even think
One
they
is already
released.
dead.
I don't even think. Yeah, they're dead. I don't even think Gotham Knights got their DLC like they were supposed to. Hold up, I'm looking it up right now.
Oh, and also you had to. Also, if you want to play offline, the game has to be online.
Yeah, yeah. See, they didn't even do
You don't
their DLC.
like if you want to play the game in single player, you had to be online all the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it bothers me to yeah, cool. Like we were gonna do all this crazy stuff for it, and it's gonna go great, and 3 months down the road, canceled everything. Did not do well. We're out of here.
How long is this game gonna last?
This one, I don't even think it's alive now. You know what? Is it available on Steam?
Not yet. It's
Let's see.
tomorrow.
Okay. Well, fuck. Because I was gonna look up concurrent players. Concurrent players. It says it's out. Yeah, it says yeah. It's yeah. For the people who I guess pre-ordered it. Yeah, currently the game is behind nearly 100 $100 nearly $100 edition, uh, which may limit your potential player base. Yeah, it's supposed to come out tomorrow. Oh yeah, the early access, the people who got it early. Yeah, Suicide Squad has been in early access for nearly 2 days. The game peaked at 7,000 players. That is not a good sign.
Also, there was no early review codes.
Interesting. Yeah, so put it in perspective. In the last week, there's been, oh God, yeah. So since November, there've only been 2,000 players, and it's just not happened from the testing. So I want to compare this to, wait, what the fuck? I want to compare this to, what is this? What game would it be? Gotham Knights, right? Gotham Knights. Wow. Let's see. Concurrent players. Let's see charts. Yeah, as of right now, this week, there's 109 players for Gotham Knights. The greatest this month was 900. And a year ago, the highest has been 1,668. Let me show this. Oh, yeah. Yeah, so when the game first came out, it had 24,000. I do not think Suicide Squad's going to do that good.
No.
I don't. And like all of the things I've seen about the story and just my thing about it is they could have done this and just have it be its own standalone title, um, and not connected to the Arkhamverse, and it would have done much better of not pissing off people who play those games. Because now the ending for the Arkham series,
It's this.
it's this, but it retcons the Dark Knight, the Gotham, Arkham Knight, where they do the Nightfall Protocol.
Yeah.
And now it ends where Batman gets shot in the head. You get me?
Mhm.
Like, that's one way to legitimately kill off a character. But yeah, why would I don't even know how to express my frustration with it. Where it's like, why would
Why?
you kill your main trinity? Like the Superman, the Wonder Woman, the Flash, the Green Arrow, the Green Lantern, excuse me. That in a game like this. Like just story beat wise. I don't know. I have too many, I have grievances.
It's because Warner Brothers doesn't know what to do with these characters.
Well, and that's the thing. It's like I don't even believe that's true. They have literally 100 years of comics. They can like, and that's the one thing that bothers me the most about it. It's like,
Yeah, but the studio doesn't care.
well, no, that I know that's the real bottom line.
They don't know what to do with them. I mean, thinking about it, it's been like what, 90 years for them to make a film of to have Batman and Superman on the same screen.
And like,
Like you could have done that like so long ago.
and it's like why, and it's like why don't, and it's like the reasoning behind it that they've said kind of irks me a lot more in that. It's like, oh, it's because they can have their own franchises and they don't need each other to run a successful franchise. That's great.
I mean, they can, but
It My problem with it is that that's great and all. They can do You can do that. You can also have them exist in that same world. So people can be invested in the stories that you're telling beyond just the the next entry. You get me?
Yeah.
And I think that's why the MCU was such a big success. You know, we cared about um where everything was and after Avengers once we got there, and all the little Easter eggs of, oh, this is they had a map of a map beaker of Wakanda. They had more of these like smaller like Easter egg hunting things to make the world a fuller place. And it kind of like was like cool. It's like, oh yeah, this is what's happening over here. It's like, oh, why in Iron Man 3 is Iron Man doing everything alone? You get me? Up till War Machine comes out. You get me?
Yeah.
And then they go back to the next week. Oh, well, they were doing this or they were doing that, or where they could still tell their own stories in the world and not need to worry about the crutch of, oh, I need to have every one of these heroes in the movie, but also not use it like the logic the backwards that way. It's like, oh, why didn't someone come help you? You get me?
Yeah.
And yeah, it's edition one milking machine. Yeah. And what do you do? What you can do is like you can make a how you do it is that you make merchandise that way, and that's how you make the money, Pat. You get me? But
I also heard like it's like an interview with like David Zaslav.
I do not know who that is. But what
He's the CEO of Warner Brothers.
no, I
Like
have not.
one
Sure, what's
saying that he that he wants to like double down as games as a service.
see, and I think that's kind of where a lot of that circles back to what happened with GTA 6
Yeah.
and its announcement that the CEO of Rockstar Games doesn't want to charge one price for the game. They want it to be a subscription service. They want you to pay to play GTA monthly. And I feel a lot like I think beyond GTA 5 as because GTA 5 by itself had had a story and you could play it offline with no need to put anything more money into the game. You get me?
Yeah.
But that game made so much money on its microtransactions for GTA Online. You get me?
Yeah.
And I feel like on both parts, if you alienate the you can only play this online and you have to start paying for it. I feel like that's going to be a major turnoff for a lot of people. Yeah, there's still people that are going to play the GTA game because it's GTA. I get that. But I feel like it's not going to do as good as they expect.
Yeah.
And that's going to. Oh, we can hope, actually. I don't know anymore. People have proven me wrong recently. Ouch. Fuck.
You remember there was like a Wonder Woman game coming out?
I
Feels
don't
feels like
know.
everyone forgot about it.
Is there one?
Yeah. It announced like what, like fucking 2 years ago? During one like Game Awards.
DC STEM Screen Princess will star in one new Wonder Woman's game developer Monolith.
It was gonna have the Nemesis system.
That's interesting. Yeah, there's even word that the new Wonder Woman game might have a branching narrative, giving Monolith's complex Nemesis system another hurrah. Interesting.
And that was announced like how long ago?
Well, this article is from January
It was
16th.
announced in 2001.
Yes, yeah. There is no more game release yet. Date is announced December 2021 at the Game Awards. But all knowing it's that it's current production, while publishers Warner Brothers Games, Suicide killed the Justice League set to launch in 2024, we expect that the Wonder Woman game will come out uh, into focus shortly. interesting. Yeah, Wonder Woman's game will be a single player open world action. Excuse me. Will be a single player open world action game. The studio has teased details of the story so far, although we do know that it's going to be an original story set in the DC universe rather than one that actively draws from the best Wonder Woman stories from the comics or a piece of the broader Arkhamverse. We Interesting. What would they do for the Nemesis system and Wonder Woman?
I don't know.
That's
Might as well use it since they trademark it.
well, no. I get the point of using it. I can understand that, but it works so well in the Middle Earths, like the Shadow games, because a lot of the nemesis that you fight are no name goblins and orcs and stuff, and and then they become, you know, these greater foes for you to deal with. I I'm interested on how they plan to implement that in a game like that.
I think it can work it well in a
Cause like
world
I'm thinking about it like, oh, maybe they'll do like multiple villains, like smaller villains.
or like a minion or something.
Yeah, and then
Once
they become like a bigger boss, and then this
they
they got
become a super villain.
yeah, there you go, yeah. See, and that I think could that's what I'm trying to figure out. Is like, how would you do that? Interesting, very interesting. Well, I cannot say that I'm not now interested in this. This seems interesting to me, especially with now knowing that there has that nemesis thing. Am I good? I think I'm fine. Why? Something wrong? Hello? But yeah, don't got much more to say after that. You got anything left in the tank, Manny Prime?
Uh, no.
No. Well, I think we'll just end it here. Um, thanks, Manny Prime, for being part of this. I know this was a little bit more just personal, you and me, which was kind of nice. We got to talk comic books and stuff. That's kind of nice to be able to talk to somebody. You've definitely opened me up to seeing more of the other side of comic books, other than just the superhero stuff. Because that Godzilla one looks dope. Um, but yeah, thanks everybody who watched. Thank you, Pat. Thank you everybody who's there. Thank you, Manny Prime, for being my co-host today. And we'll catch you guys in the next one. Goodbye.
Good night.
Good night. Where do I? Boop.